Good evening, night owls and truth seekers, and professional skeptics. Welcome to Blur the Line, a new addition to the Sanctum Starktorum. I'm your host, Stark, and if you're here for the first time, buckle up, because tonight I'm going to feed you a handful of stories. Some actually have happened, and some are completely made up. And it's up to you, the listener, to decide which ones are real and which ones are fake. And here's how it works. 5 stories, some ripped from actual life, and some that's been woven into a spider's web. And your job is simple. Listen like your sanity depends on it. Feel the hairs on the back of your neck. Notice when your gut says, wait, this might be too perfect. This might be a tale. Or when it says, that's actually kind of dumb if that actually happened. Because the scariest part isn't the wild stories. It's realizing you can't tell which ones are enough to be real and which ones are fake. So grab your drink, silence your phones. Maybe grab a notebook if you're the type who likes to write down the exact seconds something feels off. And remember, let's blur the lines together. Story number 1. The letter arrived 3 days after they moved in. It was simply addressed, the new owners. Derek Brodus stood in the kitchen of his new home in Westfield, New Jersey, turning the envelope over in his hands. No return address, no stamp he recognized. Inside was a single sheet of paper, typed. He read it once, then again, then out loud. Allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood. How did you end up here? Did 657 Boulevard call to you with its force within? His wife laughed nervously. Someone's messing with us. But Derek kept reading. My grandmother watched the house in the 1920s. My father watched the 1960s. It is now my time. The laughter stopped. The place was beautiful, old, sprawling, full of character. The kind of house people dreamed about. High ceilings, long hallways, windows that seemed to watch the streets. Too many windows. That night Derek walked from room to room checking locks. He paused in the hallway. He could have sworn a floorboard creaked. Behind him, he turned. But nothing. They received a second letter. It came a week later. This one knew things that no one should know. I see the children. Have they found what is in the walls yet? Derek's stomach dropped. They hadn't told anyone about the kids. No one. After that, everything changed. They kept the lights on at night, installed cameras, locked every door twice. But the letters kept coming, each one more personal, more interested. I am pleased to know your names now. I will learn all I can. I am always watching. Derek started asking around. The neighbors were polite, too polite. One man paused just a second too long before answering questions. An older woman stared at the house like she had seen something she didn't want to remember. No one admitted anything. But one seemed surprised. One night, Derek woke up to a sound, a faint tapping. Not outside, but from inside the house. He followed it down the hallway. Tap, tap, tap. He pressed his ear against the wall. Silence. Then, a single knock from the other side. The final letter. It arrived after stopping their sleeping there. After the fear got too heavy. After they realized this wasn't a prank. It was patient. Why have you left? 657 Boulevard is missing what it needs. It needs you. The house has been waiting for years. Now that you're here, I watch and wait. They never found the Watcher. No fingerprints, no DNA, no suspects. The house still stands, and people still drive by it. And whoever sent those letters was close enough to see inside, close enough to know the children, close enough to watch without ever being seen. So now I have to ask you, was that something that actually happened? Or was that just writing on the walls? Story number 2. The house wasn't perfect. Quiet neighborhood, fresh paint, a good price. Too good, maybe. But Crosby, Texas wasn't known for danger. We're lucky, the wife says, settling boxes down in the living room. Her husband nodded. They had no idea what had happened there. The first night started small. Sound in the hallway, a faint dragging noise. Probably the pipes, he said. But the house didn't feel right. Not empty, not quiet, just occupied. Within days, the dreams began. Not normal dreams, the same one, every night. A dark figure standing at the foot of her bed, watching, not moving, just there. When she woke up, she could still feel it, like something had been in the room and had just left. But then came the marks. Small at first, scratches, bruises, appearing overnight. Doctors had no answer. Stress, they said. Sleepwalking, maybe. But one morning, she woke up with hand-striped marks on her arm. Finger marks, as if something had grabbed her hard. He heard them next, whispering. Late at night, coming from the living room. Too low to understand, but definitely there. One night he forced himself to listen. He stepped into the hallway, the whispering stopped. Silence. Then, a single word, right behind him. Leave. Desperate, they began to research the house, digging through records, talking to neighbors. And that's when they learned the truth that their home was built over something, not just land, a cemetery, unmarked, forgotten. Dozens of graves beneath the neighborhood. Bodies moved or not moved when construction began. No one really knew. But after that, it got worse. Objects moved, doors opened, light flickers. Whispers turned into voices, angry, demanding. Always the same message, leave. They stayed one last night, just to be sure, just to prove to themselves that it wasn't real. At 3 a.m., they woke up at the same time, both of them. No sound had woken them, just a feeling. They looked at the doorway and saw it. A shape, darker than darkness, standing there, watching them. By morning, they were gone. Furniture, clothes, everything. They never looked back. So, did this story really happen? Or is it just a tale in the dark? Story number 3. It started at 2:17 a.m. No warning, no storm, no reason. Phones lit up all at once, a quiet neighborhood just outside New Orleans, Louisiana. A harsh tone cut through the silence, the kind that makes your chest tighten before you even read the message. Emergency alert. Seek shelter immediately. Do not look outside. The last line didn't make sense. People were used to hurricane alerts, flood warnings, even tornado watches, but this, do not look outside? A man named Eric checked his phone and laughed. Probably a glitch, he muttered. He walked to the window, pulled the curtain back, and looked. At first, he didn't see anything. Just the street. Still, empty. But then, movement. Slow. Across the road. Someone walking. Too tall. Too thin. Within minutes, texts start flying. Did you see that alert? What is this? What does it say? Why does it say not to look outside? But one message stood out from Eric. Just one sentence. There's something out there. But then nothing. Phones buzzed again. Emergency update. Remain indoors. Lock all doors and windows. Do not respond to voices. Now the people were scared. Voices? Around 2:30 a.m., the knocking started. Not loud, not aggressive, just patient. A soft, steady tap on doors, on windows, on walls. Some people heard it on the back of their houses where there were no doors at all. A woman claimed she heard her mother calling from outside, but her mother had died 2 years earlier. That's when another heard his brother's voice, even though his brother was asleep in the next room. Always the same tone, calm, familiar, close. Hey, open the door. One house had a security camera facing the road. The footage, according to people who saw it, showing something moving between houses. Not human, limbs too long, head tilted the wrong angle, stopped at each home, waiting, listening. At 3:06 a.m., everything stopped. No more knocking, no more voices, no more movement. Then the final alert came. All clear, no further action required. The next morning, police received dozens of calls. People reported knocking at doors and no one there, voices mimicking loved ones, shadows moving outside, the same strange alert messages. But when the authorities had checked, there were no records of the alert being sent. No system logs, no official warnings, nothing. When officers checked Eric's home, the front door was unlocked. His phone was on the floor. The curtains were still open. But Eric was gone. No signs of struggle, no footprints, no evidence, just gone. What do you think? Did this really happen? Or is this just an empty voice in the dark? Story number 4. The first sign was the picture. It had fallen off the wall in the living room. And Pepperell, Massachusetts was quiet. Too quiet. Most nights, that's why the Bowen family didn't think much of it at first. Old house, the mother said, picking up the frame, probably just loose nails. But the next morning, it was on the floor again. Only this time, it wasn't just the picture. The furniture had moved. At night, the girls heard it first, scratching, soft footsteps, something shifting behind the walls. Rats, their mother insisted. But rats don't open doors. Rats don't move things. Rats don't whisper. Then came the notes. Left. They couldn't be missed. I'm watching you. The family panicked. The police came, searched the house, and found nothing. No forced entry. No intruders. No explanation. One afternoon, one of the daughters was home alone. She was in her room, and she noticed something strange. Her mirror. It had been tilted, just slightly. Someone had touched it. She stepped closer, and that's when she saw it. Not her reflection, something behind it. A shadow, a face, watching her. When the police finally searched again, they found him. Not outside, not hiding in the closet, inside the walls. Daniel LaPlante had been living there, moving through hidden spaces, watching them, listening, waiting until they left or slept. He had been the one moving the pictures, writing the notes, standing just inches away on the other side of the walls. He was arrested. That wasn't the end, not even close. After being released on bail, he broke into another home. This time in Townshend, Massachusetts. A mother, 2 children. He didn't hide. He didn't watch. He killed them. What do you think? Could this story be true? Or is it something that was just stuck in the walls? Story 5. It was logged exactly at 3:11 a.m. A 911 call came from this quiet suburban home of the edge of Aurora, Colorado. At first, nothing seemed unusual, just breathing, slow, uneven. The dispatcher waited. 911, what's your emergency? Silence. Then, a whisper. So you can hear. The voice sounded like a young woman. Calm. Too calm. Ma'am, do you need help? The dispatcher asked. A pause. I think someone's in my house. The dispatcher switched tones immediately. Are you in a safe space? Yes, I'm in hiding. Where are you? Another pause. I don't know how to explain that. The dispatcher frowned. Ma'am, I need you to tell me your location. I'm in the house, but not in it. A cold silence followed. What do you mean? The dispatcher asked. The caller whispered. I can hear them moving, but they can't hear me. Then something changed. A sound in the background, footsteps, heavy but slow, moving through the house. The caller breathed, quickened. They're coming upstairs. Who is it? The dispatcher asked. No answer, only the faint creaking of stairs. Then another voice, faint, distant, just somewhere else in the call. Hello? Dispatcher froze. Who is that? She said. Caller whispered. That's me. What do you mean that's you? The dispatcher, sharp now. There were two of me, the caller replied. One voice, close, whispered into the phone, the other far away, echoing throughout the house. Both saying the same thing, just seconds apart. A loud knock echoed through the line, not from the caller's side, but from inside the house. The distant voice screamed. The closer voice whispered, They found me. Finally, the dispatcher got it, an address. Units went immediately. Lights and sirens cut through the quiet streets. Officers arrived within minutes. The front door was unlocked. They entered, cleared the first floor, nothing. Then they heard it, a phone ringing upstairs. They followed the sound to a bedroom, empty, except for a phone on the floor, still connected to 911. The call didn't end there. The line stayed open, and on the recording, you could still hear two voices, the same woman whispering, calling out, one close, one far. There was only one woman who lived in the house, and she had been found earlier that night downstairs unresponsive, long before the call was ever placed. So, tell the two voices. Was it true, or was it just something you just heard? Story number 1. What did you think about it? Did it happen? Or did our writers come up with something very clever? Well, this time, this actually happened. The events are based on the real Watcher House case. The letters quoted are partially adapted from actual messages received by Derek Brodus and his family. The case remains unsolved as of today, in 2026. Investigations by the police and coverage from outlets like the New York Times and NBC News confirmed key details. So, how did you do? So, story number 2. What did you think? Did it really happen, or was it just something we were feeling in the dark? Well, this actually happened. This story is based on reports from the Black Hope Horror in Crosby, Texas. Multiple families reported similar experiences in the same subdivision. The area was later discovered to have been built over an unmarked cemetery. Covered by investigators, books like The Black Hope Horror by Ben Williams reported, discussed by media outlets, including the Houston Chronicle. Thing is, multiple families said the same thing, same neighborhood, same experiences, and all came to the same conclusion that something didn't want them in the house. They didn't want them there. Did we get you? Maybe, maybe not. So what did you think about story number 3? Was it an alert that went off and warned people about the paranormal outside, or was this something that a prankster may have done? Well, this one actually didn't happen. But we've always heard about the false warning signs that always come. Did we get you? So, what do you think about story number 4? Was it real, or something that was a part of some child's imagination? Well, this one is true. Because the scariest part isn't what he did later, it's what he did first. Living in someone's house without them knowing, listening to their conversations, watching their routines, standing behind their walls. While they felt something was wrong, but they couldn't prove it. This is based on the real crimes of Daniel LaPlante. He was living in the walls the incident occurred before the murders. It's been documented, an investigation reported by outlets at the Boston Globe and CBS News, and LaPlante is now serving multiple life sentences. Did we get you this time? So, story number 5. What did you think? Was it someone from beyond the grave calling 911 with 2 distant voices? Or was it just something that we'd made up in the ether? Well, the truth is, this didn't happen. Did we fool you? I hope so. How did you do? 5 stories, 5 chilling tales. I hope you enjoyed it. This is something new for my channel, and I really hope to continue this if it gets a good response. Until next time, this was the Sanctum Sanctorum. Goodbye.